You're wondering why I'm working on this steaming pile of horse pecky, right? Yep, me too. Hey, I know. You're wondering why I'm working on this steaming pile of horse pecky, right? Yep, me too. But, in reality, it's got a good door. You know? And 4.3 liter Vortec. It's a Vortec. That is a Vortec. So it's a V6, but it is, you know, it's a Vortec. I'm gonna try to get it running. That's just what I'm gonna do. Not because we're gonna do anything with this except for, I don't know, nothing. Maybe take the chassis out of it. It's not too bad, and set something on it. Sell the door to somebody who needs it. But the motor, if she runs, that can be hot rod material, you know? Somebody who wants a budget-friendly hot rod. So we're gonna get it started, and that's basically what it boils down to. Just, I don't know. Hey, a lot of people like these. It's just not really at home here, but lots of fresh air. You know, out in God's country, I'm feeling it. So, hey, like I said, it's a good door. And maybe, you know, I think it's got a good tire on it too. But hopefully we can get the engine running, and that's what this is going to be all about, is getting the engine running. And if it does, it's going to find a home in a hot rod somewhere. So that's what we're about here. Let's get started. First things first, put a battery in it. I haven't tried to crank it, I haven't tried to turn it. There's no way to get to the front of the crank. So I'm simply just going to put a battery in it and see what happens. I've checked the oil, that looks good. I pulled the top of the air filter off, and that looks good. Sticking on some kind of wire here, there we go. Alright, although I don't have any bolts to connect it to the battery. So, I'm going to have to go find some hardware, I guess would be the word we're looking for, to try to connect on the battery. I could just vice grip it maybe. Nope, it's not long enough. So let me get see if I can find some bolts, screws, nuts, or in between that'll actually hook this battery up for me. As soon as I touched these, I started hearing dinging and stuff. That's a good sign. She's alive somewhat. So anyway, I'm gonna get these tightened up, and then we're gonna see. I don't have keys for this truck, so I've kind of hot wired / disassembled / got the ignition to work by other means. I'm not gonna show you that because, you know, there's dishonest people out there. Hopefully none of my watchers, none of my viewers would be dishonest, but last thing I want to do is teach some kid how to break a car's ignition so that you can make it happen, right? So I don't want to be responsible for the delinquency of some kid. But anyhow, we're going to focus on up here. I'm going to get these tightened up, and then we're going to see if it'll run. can actually hear the fuel pump going. I don't really expect much out of that, but I can hear everything going, including the flashers at the moment. I'm going to pop, well, let's leave her on. Let's just go ahead and try to fire it up. I've got my trigger here for the starter just because I couldn't get the starter to turn and finally get my fingers out of the fan. Let's try it. Okay, that's a no-go, but she's turning over, so let's see. Pull this off of here. Let's try a little bit of fire in the can here. Try it again. Woo! Yeah, baby! That was a quickie. Let's try some actual fuel down there. See if we can't bottle feed this girl. Woo! We don't want to... I can't test the transmission because it's not hooked up, and I've got a starter with my little starter button, and I'm not gonna stand in front of this truck and put it manually into gear and then start the truck, because it'll be it'll just go away. Yes. Of course, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna assume the transmission works because the fluid looks good, the engine runs good, so I'm going to assume it probably, they were driving this before people started stealing things off it, so now I know the engine runs. Pretty much assume the tranny goes, and I might get my wife or somebody to come here and hold the brake, but I still don't like that idea. But I'm going to show you why I don't think it will go anywhere even if the transmission works. I'll show you. Everybody knows that I'm the world's worst handheld camera person in the world. Let me try that again. Everybody knows I am the world's worst handheld camera operator. I shake and, I'm just not good at it. People hear all sorts of funky noises. The wind blows the wrong way. It just, I'm not the best. But I'm going to show you why I'm in this weird position. Because I'm going to show you that why I don't think this truck will go anywhere even if the tranny works. And there it is. Something is wrong in Denmark. I'm pretty sure that hole there, let me see if I can grab it under here and point it out to you in case you can't see it. Right there. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be there. So something from the inside came out, and I think that's probably not good, right? I just don't think it's good. So, even if the tranny works, I don't think we're going anywhere, but we might get some really funky sounds out of it. But really right now all I care about is the engine, and maybe when I get somebody else out here I might attempt to check on the tranny. I decided to live dangerous. Don't do this at home. Whatever you do, don't do this at home. reverse, I think. So if anything, she's going to go backwards. But I remembered when I loaded this truck, 3 out of 4 of the wheels were locked up. Both rear ones, that's a surprise, and then one front one was locked up. So I'm going to go on the assumption that those 3 are still locked up. And I'm pretty sure the rear end's locked up. So I am going to fire this up and see if it tries to go back or if it makes some horrendous noise. Stuff. Are we ready? Don't do this at home. This could be bad. This may be a video that'll go viral because I busted my knees. So, here we go. Oh, maybe I should turn the ignition on. I can always starve it for gas if it gets too out of control. You ready? I think I'll stand over here. Just cuz. Well, she did try to go backwards. That. The scary thing is it didn't try to go backwards, it tried to go frontwards. This is why I stood to the side. But I felt the transmission engage. We have engine, we have transmission. There's no way to check the we're not driving this thing. We're not driving this thing. But at least I know I've got a drivetrain-ish, not including the rear end. That works. So let me go. Flashers work too. Can you see that? Yep. Flashers work. That's it. I can't say that I'm sad it was a short video. It didn't take much. This old girl, as bad as she looks, this thing's a pile of rust. But she fired right up. The starter, I couldn't get the starter to work with the key / ignition / rig that I had inside, but I just put on my little handy dandy button there and it fired right up. It's just getting everything to light up because it's all electronic, you know, so if we don't engage all those electronics, it's not like the old days, run a one wire to the coil and the thing starts. It's not quite that way, but I was pretty impressed with the fact that it started up so easy. And it smoked a little bit at first, but as you saw, that cleared up. And some of that might have been I was pouring a little too much fuel. I just barely had to dribble the fuel in there to keep it running. But I'm pretty impressed. She won't run off the fuel pump. My guess is the fuel pump's dead. Anything with an electric fuel pump that sits for any length of time, that pump goes bad. It just always goes bad. But I don't know. Who thought of putting an electronic or electric device inside gasoline? Who thought that up? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a great idea to me. But evidently the pumps last forever longer because they're cooled by the fluid around them. So that's why you're not supposed to let them get too low because then they get heated up. But it evidently works, and somebody that's way smarter than me figured it out. But that's the end of this video. Whoop, don't hit this too hard. It'll, kind of leave, pieces. So, anyhow, anybody want a rusty truck? Well, I wouldn't do that to you. But she runs good, and I've got somebody that needs this engine for their hot rod, so that makes me happy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know how much content there really is, because It was easy. We had an easy time on this one. That gremlin wasn't so easy, right? But and we'll be getting back to that, so don't give up on the old gremlin. She's, as you saw that other video about the transmission. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. But she's going to be getting a 4-speed because the whole 3-speed thing that I did isn't working. We tried, right? We tried. Never know till you try. If it works, I think what my father used to always say is, if it only works for a short time, it was a redneck rig, hillbilly rig, whatever you want to call it. He says if it lasts a long time, it's an invention, right? So, no invention on the old gremlin. But we keep on working on making an invention. We'll come up with some stuff. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Trying to, my goal is 1,000 subscribers right now. We're a little ways away from that. I'm just starting out, so the more of y'all that watch, if you like my videos, hey, tell a friend, and they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends. Sounds like a Clairol commercial, doesn't it? But anyway, I'd appreciate it if you tell your friends about it, and hopefully they'll like it and they'll subscribe too. But until then, y'all have a great day.